Hey yogis, welcome to class. Today we're going to be doing a fun little vinyasa flow sequence that is focused on building strength in the shoulders and also encouraging a little bit more flexibility in the space between the shoulder blades on our back. So we'll be working with this whole area, the most mobile joint in the body. It's going to be a stronger class. If you did this class already and you found that you like the style and you want to build up even more, then lucky for you, I've already created a longer version of this class, which is about an hour and a half long. And that is an exclusive video that is only on our Patreon account. So if you would like to take a longer version of this class that also includes some arm balances and inversions, then please head over to Patreon. It's in the description below. So you can click there, become a patron, find our exclusive content, and take some of our longer classes. All you need for class today is your mat. So find your way into a child's pose and let's begin. Knees apart, hips down towards the heels, walk the hands forward. Let the head start to rest down towards the mat. Begin to deepen your breath. As you inhale, you can feel your belly press into your thighs. And as you exhale, your chest just melts down towards the ground. Take a few slow, deep breaths here to just ground yourself, to arrive in this moment, in this space. Before we begin to move the body, we always want to start from that space of stillness. Not only in the body, but also in the mind. So settle into the pose. Settle in, connect with your breath. Begin to walk both hands off the right side of your mat. Pin down your left hand with your right. Take a few deep breaths here. With each inhale, start to pull your left hip towards your left heel. Stretch out that left side body. And walk your hands through center. And off to the left, pin down your right hand with your left. And again, a few deep breaths here. Really breathe into that side bend. And walk your hands back to center. Start to lift the hips up. Make your way into puppy pose. So readjust the knees so that they're underneath the hips. Walk the hands forward. The chest starts to reach down towards the mat. Keep the core engaged so you're not dumping too much into your low back. And then gently set down the elbows. Option here to bring your palms together. Start to reach your hands up over your head. Maybe the thumbs can touch your upper back. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Either way is okay. What we're working on here is stretching out our shoulders, our triceps. Release the hands, start to make your way out of puppy pose and into tabletop. We'll do a little wrist warm up. But first, I'd like you to tuck your toes under, sit back on the heels, stretch out the feet. And then come back to that tabletop. Spread the fingers wide and then just start to lean left and right as you lift your hand up. And each time that you are leaning, you're sort of lifting your hand, you're starting to send the fingertips back towards the knees. And then once you get to that full range, then start to bring the fingertips back towards the front of your mat. And then start to internally rotate the arms. Keep the arms straight. Send the fingers back towards the knees until you reach that end range. And then again, back to the front. So we're just starting to wake up the nerve endings in our hands, putting a little bit of weight on the wrists. It's just a gentle wrist warm up here today. Once you come back with the fingertips pointing towards the knees, you're going to stop there. Sit back towards the heels. Keep the arms straight at first. Maybe the wrists start to lift off. You can bend one elbow, maybe bend the other. Sit back on the heels. Try to stay on your toes if you can. Shake out the wrists. And then extend the arms out to your sides, down towards the ground. Spread the fingers wide. Arms are straight. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to send the arms back, and then they're going to naturally spring forward. So you're sending back, let them spring. So it's sort of this like bouncy motion with your arms and your shoulders. So you're trying not to control the movement too much. You're actually removing the resistance, and you're just letting the hands fly back. Continue with that motion, but you're going to begin to bring your hands up towards the sky. And then lower the hands back down at your side. One more time, bring them up. And lower down. Awesome job. Forward fold, back of the mat. Pedal out your legs, one leg at a time. Let your head hang heavy. And just move in a way that feels good for you. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Take an inhale, halfway lift. The heart reaches forward. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat. Downward dog. Press onto the inside part of the hands. Push the ground away. So try to get a little bit more space between your ears and your shoulders so you're not sinking into your shoulder sockets. Option to bend the knees. It's perfectly fine. And then inhale, shift forward, high plank. Shoulders stack over wrists. Hips are the same height as the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone under. Dome the upper back. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, downward dog. One more time, inhale, forward. Option to set the knees down. We're going to lower down halfway, chaturanga, elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, upward dog. Come on to the tops of the feet, engage the glutes. And exhale, downward dog. Gaze forward towards the hands, and then start to externally rotate your upper arm so that the soft part of the elbow is pointing forward. And then you're going to begin to lower your elbows down towards the mat, hugging the elbows towards the center line. Let them hover above the ground and then press it right back up. Straighten the arms. Lower down, let them hover. We call this turbo dog. And then press it up. Last one, lower down. Press it up. Okay, I lied. This is your last one. Lower down. Let it hover, and then set the forearms all the way down to the mat. Start to walk the feet back. We come into a forearm plank. So the forearms are parallel to each other. Tuck the tailbone under, push the ground away. Beautiful job. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently set down the knees, set down the hips, untuck the toes, Sphinx Pose. Sit nice and tall, the gaze is forward, engage the glutes. Exhale, lower the chest down. The wrists come underneath the shoulders, press back, child's pose. Just take 2 breaths here. Reconnect with the breath. And then make your way back to a downward dog. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Feet come together, big toes touch. Come onto the knife edge of the left foot, side plank on the left, right arm reaches up to the sky. Engage the glutes. Imagine that someone is pulling on your right hand up towards the ceiling. Push the ground away. As you exhale, right forearm comes down to the ground for a right side forearm plank. So now for this, I would like it if you could have your right forearm, try to get it parallel to the right side edge of your mat. Left arm reaches up to the sky. So we're really encouraging that external rotation of the right arm. So you really have to grip into the mat with your fingertips even more. Use your right thumb and your right pinky to keep you balanced. Exhale, left palm comes back down to the mat. Side plank on the left, push yourself up. Nice job. Right knee comes to the right armpit, hold it here, modified side plank. Gaze comes down to the ground as you step your right foot there, slowly. Low lunge, set down the left knee, untuck the toes, inhale, arms rise. Grab onto the left wrist with the right hand as you inhale, lengthen. And exhale, side bend over to the right. So it's almost like you're using your right hand to pull your left hand up and away from your body. Release the hand for half split. Start to straighten the right leg. Toes point up towards the sky. Let the chest melt down towards the right thigh, a little micro bend in the right knee. Start to rebend the right knee. Tuck the left toes under as you straighten both legs. Pivot the feet for Prasarita. Standing forward straddle fold. So for this, I would actually like you to not go to your farthest depth with the legs. Maybe even heel toe the feet in just a couple of inches. And instead, we're going to work on stretching the shoulders. So keep your left hand where it's at here on the ground, and you're just going to reach your right arm behind your left and grab onto the outside of your left calf. Now, once you have the hand held there on the leg, you're going to start to pull your back away from the mat, like away from your right hand, as if you have your leg is pulling your right arm out. So you just have your left hand on the ground for stability. What we're stretching here is our few different muscles, but the ones that are around the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blades, your rhomboids, your middle and lower trapezius, all the muscles that are used to aid in having a good posture. Release the right hand, switch. Right hand comes down onto the ground. Reach the left arm behind the right. Hold on to the outside of your right calf. And then start to send the chest and the back away from your left hand. So you feel that stretch in the upper back. And release the left hand. Both hands come underneath the shoulders as you inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, take a high spider lunge to the left. So left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Both soles of the feet are down on the ground. And then pivot to face the front of the mat, runner's lunge. Right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Left palm comes down onto the mat, come onto the knife edge of both feet. And then begin to step your right foot behind your left calf for Wild Thing. Left leg is straight, right leg is bent. Engage the glutes. Push the ground away. Gaze comes back down towards the mat. Modified side plank, right knee comes towards the right armpit. Hold it there. Really push up out of that left shoulder socket. Flex the right foot, step it to the top of the mat. Warrior 3 prep. Left leg floats off. So you have a lift in the chest. You're using the muscles in your back to keep your chest lifted. Now keep the fingertips down on the ground. And then start to bend both knees, and you're going to tap your left knee outside your right calf. Bring it right back up, Warrior 3 prep. We call this Shiva Squat. Start to bend both knees. Tap left knee outside the right calf. Bring it back. Let's do 3 more. Move with your breath. Exhale, tap, inhale, lengthen. Last 2. Nice and slow, last one. And we meet in chair pose. Bend both legs, left sole of the foot meets the right top of the mat. Arms reach up overhead. Start to shift the weight into the left leg. We're coming into eagle pose. So you're going to cross the right leg on top of the left. Maybe this is it for you. That's fine. Or maybe you can continue to wrap that right foot behind the left calf. Either way, I'd like you to pay special attention to make sure that your left knee stays in the same direction as your left foot. So if you notice that your leg is pulling your left knee off to the right, try to engage the muscles in your left quad to pull the knee back so it's on top or lined up with your left foot. Extend the arms out to your sides. And then cross your left arm underneath your right. Maybe just hold on to opposite shoulders, or if you want to come into that full bind as well, you can wrap the hands, palms touch. Either way, set the hips low, lift the chest high, start to reach your hands up towards the sky, or at least your elbows. Breathe. As you slowly release, step that right foot to the back of the mat, Warrior 2. I know that left quad was cooking. It was for me too. We're not here for long. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Right arm reaches up over your head. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, back to Warrior 2. And then start to straighten your left leg. Pull your hips back, send your shoulders forward towards the front of your mat for triangle pose. Left fingertips reach down towards the ground. You could either send your right arm straight up to the sky, Or if you want a little relief in the right shoulder, you can just bend the arm, place the back of the hand on the low back. Or if you want to take that bind, you could also bring your right hand all the way to the top of your left thigh, right at the hip flexor point. So the option is yours, whatever feels good in your body. Keep a little micro bend in the left knee. Keep that right shoulder open. Reconnect with the breath. Gaze comes back down towards the ground. Release the bind if you had it. Start to rebend the left leg. Frame the left foot. Runner's lunge. Step the left foot back to meet the right. High plank. Come forward. Come up high on the toes. Bend the arms. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Drop right back into the pose. Come back to that stillness in the pose, in the breath. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Start to bend both knees, and then you're going to place your hands underneath your feet with the palms facing up towards the sky for gorilla pose. So a big bend in the knees. Once your hands are placed, you can let your head hang heavy, and then slowly start to straighten the legs. And opposed to that first time when we were in the forward fold, maybe with this variation you can really feel that stretch underneath the shoulder blades. Last breath here. Start to re-bend the knees, release the hands. Take an inhale, halfway lift to lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift, and walk your hands to the top of the mat, downward dog. Inhale to high plank. Bring the feet together, the big toes touch. Side plank on the right. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Great job. Engage the glutes, engage the core. Exhale, left forearm comes down to the mat. Again, see if you can get it parallel to the outside edge of the left side of your mat. Spread your fingers wide to create that stability. And exhale, right palm comes down to the ground. Press yourself back up, side plank on the right. Modified side plank, left knee comes towards the left armpit. Hold it here. These transitions, these poses get easier over time. Just keep doing your best. You're doing great. Flex the left foot, look down towards the mat, step the left foot there. Low lunge, set down the right knee. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Come onto the top of the right foot, send the hips forward and down. Hold on to the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, lengthen, side bend to the left. So really use your left hand to pull your right arm up. Inhale, back to center, half splits. Begin to straighten the left leg. And start to rebend the left knee. Tuck the right toes under as you straighten both legs. Pivot the feet. Prasarita. So for this variation, you have several different options. You can just walk the hands underneath you. You can hold on to both ankles. Maybe you want to take a twist, one hand down, other arm up to the sky. Lots of variations here. Perhaps you want to take an inversion, come into a tripod headstand. So if you are new to headstand, then go easy here, maybe even go up against a wall if this is your first time. But please avoid doing headstand if you have any neck injuries or pain in your neck already. It's not a place you want to be putting a lot of weight. So if you do want to come into that tripod, you can place both hands down, basically at the center of the mat, spread the fingers wide. Your head touches down on the mat, so you sort of create a triangle between your head and your two hands. Keep the legs straight, and then use the strength of the core to lift the legs up. Point the toes. The feet are touching at the top. Send all the energy out the toes. Glutes are engaged, core is strong. Breath is soft. If you took that inversion, slowly make your way back down. Move with control. Resist gravity. Then all together, the wrists come under the shoulders as we all inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, high spider lunge to the right. So right leg is bent, left leg is straight, but both soles of the feet are touching down on the ground. Move towards the front of the mat, runner's lunge. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Right palm is touching down on the ground as you come onto the knife edge of both feet. A little stretch in the outer hips. And then step that left foot behind the right calf, wild thing. Left arm reaches up over your head. Engage the glutes. Modified side plank, left knee to the left armpit. And then step the left foot to the top of the mat, warrior 3 prep. Right leg floats off. Fingertips down on the ground. Keep that lift in the chest. Micro bend in the left knee. And then start to bend both knees. Shiva Squat. Right knee comes outside the left calf. Inhale, right back up. Warrior 3 prep. 4 more on your own. Focus more on the transition than you do the final pose. Exhale. Touch. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more. We meet back in Warrior 3 prep. Bend both knees, chair pose. Inhale, arms to the sky. Then start to shift the weight into the right foot for eagle pose. Left leg wraps up over the right to any degree with that bind. Reach the arms out to a T, and then the left arm wraps underneath the right. Again, to any degree. Sit the hips low, lift the chest high. Start to reach the elbows up towards the sky. Feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. Last breath here. Slowly release the binds. Step that left foot back, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse it back, big breath. And exhale, extended side angle, left arm up over your head. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, Warrior 2. Start to straighten your right leg. Pull the hips back, send the shoulders forward for triangle pose. Right hand comes down to wherever it rests naturally. You don't have to force it to the ground. That left arm is either reaching up towards the sky, or you place the back side of your left hand on your low back, or maybe you take that bind again with the left hand. So you're always in control to modify these poses, to take what feels good for you, to skip whatever doesn't. We're just here to give you options and to offer you the invitation to explore movement in your body. What works for you might not work for someone else. So be kind to yourself, be easy, modify wherever you need. Gaze comes back to the ground. Release the bind if you had it. Start to rebend the right knee, runner's lunge. Frame the right foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Shift forward, come up high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga. We're gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, upward dog. Now stay on the tops of the feet. And then lower down again, chaturanga, just with the arms. Push it up, high plank. And exhale, downward dog. Gently set down the knees. Come into a tabletop. We start to cool down now, so good job making it through the tough stuff. Start to reach your right arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to thread the needle, they call it, underneath the body. Slowly lower the chest down. Maybe walk your left fingertips forward. Or you could also, again, place the back of your left hand on your low back. So this pose is going to feel very different for each person. So you should feel a little bit of a twist in the spine, a little bit of a stretch on the outside right shoulder, maybe the left too. So just go easy there. Start to walk your left hand back underneath your left shoulder. And then with the strength of the left hand, push your chest back up. Right arm reaches to the sky. Little counter release. And then right hand comes down to the mat. Other side, inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, come into that twist. So the left palm of the hand is facing up towards the sky. And your hips are basically stacked above the knees. But it might look a little bit differently in your body, and that's fine. Option to walk your right hand forward off the mat, or maybe bring it behind you. Begin to release. Place the right palm underneath the right shoulder. Start to push with the right arm. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Back to that tabletop. And then sit down on the heels and just send the hips off to one side. Legs come forward. And we'll come into reverse plank first. So straighten the legs out. The hands are behind you, the fingertips point towards the front of your mat. Start to point your toes and then lift your hips up. Reach your toes down towards the ground. Engage the glutes. And then gently set the hips down. Bend the legs. Soles of the feet come down onto the ground, maybe a little bit wider than hip distance. And then again, lift the hips up. Reverse tabletop. So again, you're engaging the glutes. Imagine pulling your heels closer to your fingertips. So you shift that engagement from your quads to the back side of your legs instead, your hamstrings, your glutes, your low back. It's really good to strengthen the backside body, especially if you're sitting a lot, to reduce the chance of getting back pain. Last breath. Slowly lower the hips down, this time closer to the heels. We'll take a moment here to stretch out the front side of our shoulders, our anterior deltoid muscle. So just keep the hands where they're at. Start to inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, maybe you invite just a little bend in the elbows. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bend. Perhaps close the eyes. Continue with those slow inhales and slow exhales. And really feel your body. Feel your breath. Start to walk your hands forward. And then reach your arms out in front of you. Rest the arms on the knees, just to relieve the tension in your shoulders. And then make your way onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe rock left and right. A little back massage. You got to give your own back massage now if you're still stuck at home. Beautiful job. You should really be so proud of yourself for stepping on the mat today, for moving your body, connecting with your breath. It's such a simple but beautiful thing. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, release the legs. Make your way into Shavasana. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Maybe wiggle the jaw, release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Close down the eyes. And surrender. Again, just like we did at the beginning of class, I encourage you to slip into stillness. Usually what happens when we are at the beginning of our meditation journey and we try to find stillness, it's like everything in the body wants to move all at once. All of a sudden your shirt needs adjusting and your hair needs fixing and you have to scratch something on your face and you're just twitching and moving nonstop. So really this is the pose where you are learning to surrender, to really invite the stillness, to be okay with exactly where you are as you are in this moment, recognizing that those distractions in the body that are encouraging you to move are just that. They're just distractions. And you have a conscious decision to either follow that distraction or to let it go and come right back to your breath, knowing that you're okay where you are in this moment. You're safe. It's all good. Just put all of your attention on the breath. Nice big inhales, nice big exhales. And continue to relax. And keep your attention on the breath. You can stay here as long as you'd like in Shavasana. Feel free to pause the video and stay. But I'll be ending the video here. So thank you so much for joining me for this practice today, for being a participant in this moving meditation. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this class, if you got something out of it, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. We really couldn't do this without your support. Thank you so much for all of your love and all of your energy. We're sending that love right back to you. Be kind to yourself. And we'll see you in the next video. Namaste.